Hello, everyone. It is the Thursday edition of Daily Betslip. Big game tonight. I don't know if you can tell, but my Atlanta Falcons taking on the Carolina Panthers. Some people are calling it the game of the year. I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that, but some people are saying it might be the game of the year. It is the only time my Falcons are playing in prime time, so I'm very excited. Obviously, today joined by Donnavan Smoot. We've got some picks coming up for you guys. Donnavan, you have a few NBA plays. I have one NHL bet and two college basketball bets. My college basketball betting season starts today. I officially decided we have some community picks we got to get to, and also the topic of the day is whether or not the Philadelphia Eagles will go undefeated, and if they do lose, what week will they lose? Obviously, that's fitting with Donnavan being a big Eagles guy.
Love it.
So let's get into it. Let's get into some community picks. Let's just dive right into it. I think we have five for today. First one coming in, Matt Verderam, our fan-sided coworker here. I do the NFL pregame show with him Sundays at 12 p.m. Eastern. Check that out. But also noted New Jersey Devils fan. He chimed in, Devils money line tonight. Devils minus 178 against the Ottawa Senators. The New Jersey Devils are the NHL equivalent of Leicester City when they won the EPL a few years ago. Was that 2016? Nobody expected the Devils to be good this year. Near the bottom of the odds list. And all of a sudden, they have been fantastic. I'm going to look up their exact record right now, but they're definitely winning their division. I think they're second in the East. 10-3, the New Jersey Devils. One game back from the Eastern Conference leading Boston Bruins at 11-2. And I will say, they're not a fraudulent team. I like to point out fraudulent teams. And what to me is a fraudulent team is a team that has a good record, but their stats stink. Not the case for the Devils. They're like leading in basically every single stat you want to look at. So, Donnavan, we did our pre-NHL season picks. I can confidently say, unless my memory is incorrect, either of us picked the Devils to do anything this year.
No. There's no way we had the Devils atop the Metro.
They're winning the Metro by 2 points. The Islanders are a little bit behind them, but they have a game in hand on the Islanders. So go Devils. I'll be going to watch the Devils play against my Maple Leafs in about 2 weeks' time, I believe. So that'll be fun. I'll get I'll get to scout this Devils team out up close and personal. All right. Good luck to Matt Verderam and his Devils. They might not lose again the rest of this NHL season. We'll see.
Which means that they're losing tonight.
Which means they'll probably lose.
After you said that.
Yes. They are pretty big favorites, minus 178 against the Senators. I do not have a bet for that game. I'm staying away. I think I was betting on the Devils a lot early in the season. I think the value is a little bit gone. I'm curious to see if they can keep up with this pace of play that they played at. We'll see. So let's go ahead and bring up the next community pick here. Chief of Disinformation at Not That Icon Guy.
Yeah.
That's the guy. That's the ref who fixed NBA games. What's his name? Tim Donaghy.
Yep.
Profile
everybody on Twitter right now is just the face of
Twitter
misinformation.
Is pure chaos right now. I can't handle Twitter right now. It's unbelievable. Although it keeps you on your toes. I saw the tweet saying Kyrie Irving was suspended. Did not come from Woj. A lot of people fell for that. Proud to say I did not fall for that. But he's on Towson +2. Little NCAA basketball action. Maybe he knows something with Tim Donaghy being his profile picture. I did not look at the Towson game at all. Towson's taking on UMass. 3-point underdogs as of now, actually 3.5 at FanDuel right now against UMass. A lot of college basketball games. I do have picks for some college basketball games. I can't say Towson is one that I looked at, so I can't add any more to that. Good luck to you, though, my friend. You got a bad line on it, though, unfortunately, because it's up to 3.5. But still, could certainly cash for you. Donnavan, I assume you don't have any thoughts on Towson? Donnavan, are you frozen? Donovan's frozen. It's just me. All right, let's bring up the next community pick. I'll ride solo while Donnavan figures out his internet. Oh, is he back?
I think I'm back. That's crazy. That honestly hasn't happened. That has not happened for a very, very long time.
It has been a while. We're all right. We got you back. A touchdown scoring bet for tonight. ATTD is anytime touchdown core. Daryl Patterson. to score tonight in the Falcons and Panthers games. I actually don't love this pick, and I was on the Vegas Insider Show with Joe Osborne this morning, and I actually like Tyler Algier, the other running back, to score a touchdown. I think people are overestimating how much the Falcons play Cordarrelle Patterson because he scored 2 touchdowns in his return last week. But in terms of snap percentage, Cordarrelle Patterson played 39% of snaps. Tyler Algier played 38% of snaps. So only 1% fewer snaps Tyler Algier played. And if you want to look at the anytime touchdown odds, Cordarrelle Patterson minus 105, Algier plus 220. So they played the same snap share last week. Why would you not take the guy who's plus 220 as opposed to the guy who's minus 105?
That's fair. I understand the value play on that.
Yes.
However, Cordarrelle Patterson scored a touchdown in 4 of the last 5 games that he's played in. And so even like his touchdowns seem more situational. So like if the Falcons get into that area, if they get into the red zone, it's more like that's going to be Cordarrelle Patterson time rather than Tyler Algier time. I would take the under on Cordell on his rushing yards, but I wouldn't hate a touchdown play for him tonight.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I mean, he can still certainly score a touchdown. He does kind of seem to be getting a little bit more goal line carries in Algier, but I do like the under on his rushing total just because even though he had a good game last week, he's not getting a ton of carries.
Yeah, and he only averaged 3.4 yards per carry last week.
Yes.
He was very, very inefficient. So the under tonight on a solid Panthers defense, probably the way to go.
All right, let's get into the next community pick here. Oro Burrows. Burrows. At Thursday night football, over 41.5 with a little money bag. I don't know, with a money bag emoji, that means it's a lock.
Yep.
Donovan, any thoughts on the over tonight? I personally like the over. There's like 75 points or something scored when these two teams played a couple weeks ago, but apparently it might be some bad weather in Carolina.
Yeah, I'm taking the under tonight. I think I took the under in the first game, and obviously, like, it was just shot out the water. But I think, listen, neither of these teams are fantastic offensively. Atlanta's been able to score, but still, they like to score on the ground. So I think that if their offense gets going and they start running the ball effectively, that's going to chew the clock down. And PJ Walker, bless his heart, he played the best game of his career against the Falcons in that last game. I don't see a repeat of a great performance from PJ Walker. So I think the offense is going to be one-sided in this game.
Yes, I agree. I don't know. With it being outside, I think, and with some weather bad, that's going to hurt the offense as well. But I agree on the PJ Walker point. I don't think he's as good as what we saw from him against the Falcons 2 weeks ago. But then again, once again, no AJ Terrell in the lineup. He has not played in a game since I bought an AJ Terrell jersey a few weeks ago. So I'm cursed.
I don't
not good.
Wow. It really lines up for you like that. That's yes. Crazy. But listen, we talk about Walker, right? Against the Falcons, 19 of 36, 317 yards, a touchdown and a pick. Last week he was 3 for 10 for 9 yards. That's closer to the real PJ Walker.
Yes, with 2 interceptions and then he got benched for Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield came in and looked good. I was a little bit surprised that they went back to PJ Walker, but maybe it's because he was so good against the Falcons a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, we're definitely going to see some regression from PJ Walker from 2 weeks ago. So I'll take the under.
I agree. All right, let's. I think we still have 1 or 2 more picks here, possibly. Tyler Algier. I think this is the last one. This is from Benny at Third and Ben. I do agree with this one. Tyler Algier over 32.5 rushing yards. Number is still low. He has topped this number in last 6 games and should continue to get carries in this run-heavy offense. Yes, like I said, he basically had the same amount of snaps as Cordarrelle Patterson did last week. He performed better in terms of yards per carry, 4.5 yards per carry on the season as well. I think we're going to see a little bit more Tyler Algier tonight than what many people think. I like that pick quite a bit.
I like it. I like it too. Low number, involved back. Let's take the over.
Yes, especially if the weather is bad, they're probably just going to run the ball. So Patterson and Algier are probably going to get a ton of carries. So there you go. Yeah. I like it. All right, let's get into our best bets for tonight. I got 1 NHL, 2 college basketball. You got 3 NBA. Let's just alternate back and forth here. I will start with forgot to close my window. There's a little horn for you. I will start with my NHL pick.
Okay.
And I'm going to go with the Columbus Blue Jackets, minus 120. And I actually think the odds have come down. I think you can get out of pick them now. But I'm going to fade this Philadelphia Flyers team. They're 7-3-2. But you want to talk about a team that's fraudulent. It is this Philadelphia Flyers team. Statistically, one of the worst teams in the NHL right now. Dead last in the NHL in 5-on-5 Corsi percentage at 40.58%. They're getting outshot by an average of 35.7 to 26.2. So by almost 10 shots a game. You cannot keep winning games if you're going to get outshot by 10 shots every single game. They're 31st in both expected goals for and expected goals against. I don't have too many nice things to say about the Blue Jackets because they aren't a great team either, but they do rank better in basically every single statistic than the Philadelphia Flyers. Obviously, the thing that has been going for the Flyers is that they've been getting fantastic goaltending from Carter Hart, but I don't think it's sustainable. Give me the Blue Jackets, minus 120. Like I said, if you bet on it now, you'll get better odds than I did. Give me the Blue Jackets to take down the Flyers in the National Hockey League.
Okay. I like that one. We're gonna switch gears to the NBA. I'm gonna go with Zion Williamson. I'm taking the over on his points, over at 23.5 points tonight. And I like this one a lot because Portland is gonna be missing a lot of people tonight. Damian Lillard has been ruled out today. Yusuf Nurkic, he's listed as questionable. He did not play last night, so I'm not expecting him to play tonight. And Jeremy Grant, who also did not play last night, I'm also not expecting him to play tonight. We'll see. We'll see what happens whenever the injury reports come out later in the day. But if Nurkic and Grant aren't there, there's nobody Portland has that they can throw at Zion whenever he's barreling into the paint. And Zion, he missed this line last night. Not too concerned about it because he only took 11 shots, which is very, very low considering that he is, one of the best scorers on the team. So I think that he's going to get more shots on the 10th tonight. There's not going to be a lot of rim protection for Portland. So we're going to take the bounce back spot for Zion tonight.
All right, I like it. I will say I've dipped my toe into NBA props. I did hit my NBA prop bet last night, so maybe I'll get a few. It was a rebound prop. It was a guy in the Knicks. Who's the Knicks' big rebounder? Julius Randle? Julius Randle over 8.5 rebounds.
Okay.
I think he got like 11. I do want to say, and I apologize, I did miss this in the YouTube chat. So let's get to this. Beers and Bowtie sent in a pick here. Panthers team total over 19.5, minus 120.
Yikes. I would stay away from that. I'm not confident about that.
It's tough because the Falcons defense does absolutely stink, but the Panthers offense absolutely stinks too. I will say one main thing about the Panthers, I'm going to talk about this later when we talk about game of the night, is their third down conversion rate's dead last in the NFL. It's tough to score a lot of points if you aren't converting third downs into first downs. But my Falcons defense sucks, and we're missing two starters in the secondary. And the Panthers scored a ton of points against us 2 weeks ago. So.
But this is the second time that you're playing against them, so
yes,
there may be some
adjustments made, maybe.
Yes, exactly.
You just say Hubbard and Foreman get it done in bad weather. I mean, I don't know. Do those names get you excited about running backs that can run all over you? Although shout out Chuba Hubbard, Canadian.
Really? Nice.
Yes, Chuba Hubbard, I believe. Sorry,
my mistake. I don't even know, but I think Chuba is he going to go tonight? He's been out for the past couple of weeks. I'm not sure if Chuba.
I think he's going tonight. Yes. Let me see if I can verify that. I believe. Yes.
It looks like he's playing tonight. I think, and let me actually look this up while we kind of transition into your next pick, and then we can come back to this one. But I want to see what his line is at for rushing yards, if they even have them up.
All right, bring it up. We'll talk about it when we get to game of the night here at the end of the show. But let's dive into college basketball. I got 3 college basketball plays. I'm giving out 2 on this show. If you want to see my third one, head over to BetSided and check out my college basketball article that I wrote. My first one for tonight, I'm going to go Penn State minus 17 against Loyola, Maryland. Penn State's already played once this year. They played Winthrop, scoring 93 points, had an effective field goal percentage of 70% in that game. Loyola Maryland lost 72-66 to DePaul. Their defense didn't play great. They allowed a 43.1% shooting from the field. Loyola, I think, going to take a bit of a step back this year because they are missing their top scorer from a year before, Cam Spencer. He is at Rutgers now. What do you call a grad transfer? What do you call when someone graduates and then transfer school? Grad transfer?
A grad transfer.
I don't really think they have those in Canada. So they're missing Cam Spencer. He was by far their best player last year. They don't really have anyone to fill in for him. I don't think they have the firepower to keep up with Penn State's offense. So I'll take Penn State -17 against Loyola Maryland.
Okay, I like that. I am going to go for my second pick. I'm going to take Joel Embiid over 28.5 points against the Atlanta Hawks tonight. Joel's cleared this line in 3 of his last 5 games, 2 of his last 3, and in one of those games, he even scored 40 points. And this is the 3rd straight game that the Sixers don't have James Harden. So you know that Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey, they're going to be the two. They're going to be the 2 players for Philadelphia that are really driving the offense. I like Tyrese Maxey's over on points as well. His over is at 23.5. Like that also. But for Embiid, this is a really good spot for him. He started a little bit slow. His first 2 games of the season were kind of underperforming, but we're starting to see a really, really aggressive Joel Embiid. And the big thing for tonight is whether or not he's going to be able to get to the free throw line. He gets there often. In the last game, he got to the free throw line 16 times. He was 16 of 16 from the free throw line. I think he's going to get to the line again tonight. It's going to get him a lot of easy points. So I like 28.5 for Joel against the Hawks.
All right, Joel Embiid over 28.5 points against the Hawks. I got one more college basketball play here. I'm going to take Vermont, the Catamounts, +8 against St. Mary's Gales. No matter what year it is. Names? What's that?
What are these mascot names?
Yeah, the Catamounts. I don't even know. I think it's a type of cat.
Let me look this up. So a catamount.
I think it's a type of mountain lion.
It is it's a cougar.
Cougar, there we go. Close enough. And St. Mary's Gales. What's a gale? A wind? Strong wind?
A gale.
Not quite the strength of a hurricane or a tornado, but you might want to put down your umbrella.
Maybe. I don't even know how to spell. How do you spell it?
Gael.
Gael. Animal. This is fantastic content, by the way. It is also a mascot. It is I have no idea what this is.
Also might refer to Gaels as in Gaelic people.
Yes, that's also one.
That would make more sense with it being St. Mary's. That would make more sense.
It's an Irish person, the Irish speaking Gaelic.
Yeah, shout out my name. The reason why it's spelled with an extra I in Ian is because it is the Gaelic way to spell Ian. So there you go, to kind of tie that into the whole thing. But I'm going to take Vermont to get back to the pick. I'm going to take Vermont +8 here. Vermont has been one of the better defensive teams in the country ever since John Becker took over as head coach here. I think we're going to see the same this season. They have had a lot of turnover from the roster last year, but they looked really good in their first game against Brown. I mean, to be fair, they played an Ivy League school. They should beat them up. But Aaron Deloney, if I'm pronouncing his last name correct, scored 30 points, so he should lead them this year. St. Mary's edged out Oral Roberts in their first game, but they had an effective field goal percentage of only 46%. So I'm interested to see how this Vermont defense faces a St. Mary's team that didn't shoot very well in their first game despite getting the win. So anytime, and also Vermont plays slow. So, I mean, an 8-point spread for a team that plays really good, slow, but also really good defensive play, it's hard to cover that spread. So I will take the Catamounts +8 in some college basketball action tonight. And Donnavan, you have one final NBA bet for tonight. And I think it's a side, isn't it?
Yes. Not a player prop. I'm taking the Mavericks -3.5 against the Wizards tonight. Washington, they don't have Bradley Beal. He's in the health and safety protocol, so they will be shorthanded of their leading scorer. And Dallas, even though that Dallas hasn't been fantastic against the spread. They're 3-6-1 against the spread this season, but that's because all of their lines have been really inflated. They've been at least a 9-point favorite twice. Their lines are normally closer to like 6 points, 6.5. Tonight, again, only 3.5. So I really like them to to beat an undermanned Washington Wizards team by at least like just 2 buckets. And Luka Doncic has been going absolutely insane. He's on the short list for MVP this year. I don't think that Washington is going to have anybody who can hold him down. So we're going to have a big Luka night and an easy Mavericks win.
There you go, Mavericks -3.5. Those are our best bets for tonight. We got some picks for the game of the night, Falcons, Panthers, coming up in a little bit. But let's take a look at the recap of our picks so far. I got Blue Jackets -120 in the NHL. I got Penn State -17 against Loyola Maryland in some college basketball action. Vermont +8 against St. Mary's. The Gales. Donnavan, 2 NBA props tonight. You got over 23.5 points for Zion, over 28.5 points for Joel Embiid, and Mavericks -3.5 against the Wizards. Let's talk about the next thing, the next topic of the show here, and that is the Philadelphia Eagles, who are an undefeated 8-0 heading into Week 10. They play Monday night against the Commanders, but since I have you on the show here, Donnavan, because you are an Eagles fan, I figured it'd be fun to go through their schedule and get our predictions for when they will lose or if they will lose. So let's start with you, but how I'm going to handle this is I'm going to go team by team, game by game, and you either say win or lose. And we'll see at what point we get you saying lose.
Okay. However, before you start, I just have to let you know I'm legally obligated to say that we will not lose a game.
Of course.
We're going to undefeated.
Of course.
Okay.
Now take off your fandom hat and let's talk about this objectively here.
Okay, let's go.
Washington Commanders on Monday night.
Win.
Indianapolis Colts, the Jeff Saturday Indianapolis Colts next week.
Potential loss.
Really?
That's
you
why
think they might lose next week
because of the week after. Because of the week after, and you have Green Bay the week after, so that might be the trap game. You're going on the road to Indianapolis against the team that you do not think is good. I don't know what the Jeff Saturday Colts will look like, but if Jonathan Taylor is healthy, and we've talked about it on the show before, that the weakness of the Eagles defense is their running game. And if they can get if the Colts can get any kind of improvement on the offensive line to set up Jonathan Taylor, who might be healthy, that might be the way that they can beat the Eagles at home. And listen, by that point, they'll be 9-0. Again, weird things happen. Like, it's just hard to stay undefeated. So I think that's a potential where it's circled as a trap game for me.
Okay, let me keep going. See if you say win or lose, or see if you say loss for any others. Packers week 12.
Win.
Titans week 13. Oh. Go. Did you have something to add about? Let's talk about the Packers here in a second.
Yep.
Titans week 13.
Win.
Ooh, Derrick Henry.
I don't care.
I don't know if you saw Donnavan. I'm a big Titans fan now, by the way. Love the Titans.
You are a traitor and traitor.
Hey, if you can't beat him, join him, Donnavan.
Just as much of a fraud as you called the Titans. You're a traitor.
I can't do it anymore. I've been betting against the Titans for a year and a half, and they keep winning. I can't do it anymore. They defy all statistics.
I'm disappointed.
Giants in week 15
Win.
or 13 or 14, whatever week will be.
Win against the Giants.
Bears.
Win against the Bears.
Cowboys.
Loss.
Oh, okay.
Loss.
So if they survive the Colts, you think they lose Cowboys on Christmas Eve?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And then Saints and Giants last 2 games.
Win.
Win.
Assuming everybody plays, win. If the number 1 seed is already locked up and we end up resting, then obviously like you throw them out. But I would say in the 3 potential games that I can see them losing would be the Colts, the Cowboys, and the Packers, just because it's Aaron Rodgers. But in terms of how worried I am, I would go Cowboys, Colts, Packers.
I'm going to go, I think they lose against the Packers in a couple weeks. I think they beat the Commanders and Colts. I think they lose to the Packers. The Packers need to start running the ball. I don't know why they've gotten away from running the ball. They've one of the best running back duos in the NFL. And if they run the ball, like you mentioned, like we've talked about before, this Eagles team struggles to stop the run, 29th in opponent yards per carry. If the Packers run the ball and Aaron Rodgers doesn't throw interceptions, I think they can beat the Eagles in that game. I think the Packers have now gotten to the point, even though I'm betting against them this week, I think the Packers have gotten to the point where they are certainly not as good as they used to be, but now I think it's gotten to the point where like they aren't as bad as people think they are.
I don't know.
They're an average team.
They they scored 21 points against Washington, I guess
Yes.
3 weeks ago. Then they scored 17 against Buffalo. Then they scored 9 last week against Detroit. Scored
Yes.
9 points against the worst defense in the league. It's
I mean,
very, very concerning.
3 touchdowns in the end zone, though. Or 3 interceptions in the end zone.
Come on, though.
I know.
9.
It's not good.
It's not great.
It's not
great.
I mean, they're not going to end the year as like a 3 or 4 win team, though. They're going to win some more games down the stretch.
I mean, no, listen, they play Chicago again, and they always beat Chicago. So, like, they can get to 4, right? They can get to maybe 5, but right. I don't have a lot of faith in them.
All right, so you think possibly Colts could upset them. If not, the Cowboys will beat them on Christmas Eve. I say the Packers beat them in a few weeks.
Okay. And that's again, I don't like the Packers, but that's fair just because they have Aaron Rodgers. But I'm very curious to see what the wide receiving core for the Packers looks like because Dobbs did go out with an injury against the Lions. Yes. So that really, really hurts them.
I would like to say I'd like to go on record saying I'm rooting for them to have a perfect season, to actually go on and win the Super Bowl and have, pull it off. What would it be? Is it 20-0 now with the extra game in the regular season? 20-0. Because I'm sick of the 1972 Miami Dolphins.
Why?
Because they celebrated every year, and it's like enough. You went undefeated when there was like 12 games in the regular season, and nobody cared about football.
Let me tell you something.
You ran the football 50 times a game. It's like the AFC barely existed. Like, who cares? Enough.
If that instead of the 1972 Dolphins, if that was the 1975 Atlanta Falcons, you would never be quiet about that team.
Of course. Duh. Yeah, exactly. But it's not though. It's the Dolphins.
Exactly. Let them have their thing. They don't have anything else.
As much as it would absolutely suck, I kind of wish the Patriots beat the Giants in 2007.
No.
That would have been even more unbearable.
He is too much. Tom Brady is too much.
All right, let's talk game of the night here. Let's talk Falcons Panthers. Before we get into our picks, did you find out what Chuba Hubbard's rushing total is?
Yes. So I'll start with Foreman. So Deontay Foreman is at 54.5, and Chuba Hubbard is at 34.5.
Got to take Chuba Hubbard.
You got to take Chuba Hubbard.
Canadian.
Yep.
I think he's from.
We're back in Canada tonight. We're taking Chuba Hubbard, Big 12's finest running back. He was dominant at Oklahoma State.
He's from representing Sherwood Park from Alberta. How about that?
Where's that at? You know, I have no idea where Canadian provinces are.
Do you know what the prairies are?
Stop that. You know I don't.
It's like the Midwest of Canada.
Okay.
It's just a bunch of farms and flat land and nothing exciting.
Got it.
All right. Shout out Chuba Hubbard. All right, let's get into our picks. I think we're on the same side. So why don't you go first?
Yeah. I think we're on the same side. I'm taking the Falcons on the spread. Taking the Falcons -2.5. I thought that they should have won a little bit more comfortably the last time. I think the same thing this time. I'm very not impressed with either PJ Walker or Baker Mayfield as the quarterback options for the Panthers. So I'm just gonna fade back quarterback play. I know this has been like a year in the NFL where you can kind of win even with bad quarterback play, but the Falcons can run the ball. Marcus Mariota, he's not gonna make like terrible decisions the same way that Walker or Mayfield will. So I think this is more of like a war of attrition type of game, and they get it by at least a field goal.
I like it.
Yeah.
I'm obviously on the Falcons as well. Can you do the Dirty Bird dance, Donnavan?
How do you do it? I'm not doing that. That's the chicken dance. That's the chicken dance.
No, it's the Dirty Bird.
Y'all really have nothing nice. Y'all have nothing going for you. That's crazy.
I'm going to take Falcons as well. I think we saw the true colors of the Panthers last week against the Bengals. They stink. Yeah. And like I said earlier, third down offense plays a big role in being able to move the ball, score points. Panthers dead last, and the Falcons actually sixth in the NFL in third down conversion rate. I think that's why they've been able to win the games that they've won. You can kind of make up for some weaknesses in other areas if you can convert third downs. Over 15% more third downs the Falcons convert than the Panthers. So I like the Falcons here. Panthers have struggled to stop the run the past couple of games, past 3 games, or 24th in opponent yards per carry. So I think the Falcons should be able to run the ball against them here. And I think PJ Walker might get pulled by the end of the game again. And look at that. The community's on it with us. All 3 of us on the Atlanta Falcons.
Love to see it.
Trying to remember who the community had last night. Community had the over in Knicks Nets. That did not hit. I think the under hit last night, the Knicks Nets. So community lost last night, but community as a whole has been hot lately. I think they're 6-2 dating back to the start of last week. So community is getting a little bit hot, even though they lost last night. I'm pretty sure that Knicks game stayed under.
Yeah, I will, and I'll take the Knicks game. But yeah, the community has been they've been right for the last, I think, 3 times that I've been on. And yes, the Knicks Nets hit under 220.
Yeah, so Ben won that pick. The community was on the opposite side. They were on the over. That did not hit. But let's get back to our winning ways, community. All 3 of us. Let's go. Let's go Falcons tonight. Big game. We can be in sole possession of the NFC South with the win tonight. Might only last a couple of days. We need the Bucs to lose on Sunday, but if the Falcons win, you look at the standings tomorrow morning, it will be the Dirty Birds. Atop the NFC South.
Let's go home.
All right. That's it. That is our show. Thank you so much for watching. Give us a like. Give us a subscribe. We officially hit 1,000 YouTube subscribers today. So get us to 1,001, 1,002, 1,003, and maybe even 1,004, 1,005. Donnavan, any final thoughts?
Listen, go Dirty Birds. Go Dirty Birds.
Come on, this is the only time that I can sit down and watch a Falcons game from start to finish because it's the only primetime game they have. So I hope they make me proud.
How many times is 28-3 coming up tonight? Even though that it's not going to be relevant at all.
It'll come up once. I mean, it's not. I remember.
That's what I'm saying. It's not relevant. It's not relevant,
but it'll come up. Coming up. They'll find a way to work it in. I remember. I don't know if you remember Donnavan last year, but when they played the Patriots in a primetime game, and I took a shot for every time 28-3 was referenced. I think it was like 7 or 8 times. It was
unbearable.
It's almost every day I see a reference on it on Twitter. The Super Bowl was like 5 years ago and still gets referenced. Oh boy. All right. Thank you all so much for watching. Best luck with your bets tonight. Gambler bless. By the way, the Daily Bets will be back tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern with Donnavan and Reed. So check that out. And check out the Bacon Bets podcast. Special episode uploaded this morning. Best bet for all 14 UFC 281 fights set to go Saturday. It's a stat card, so check that out. All right. Have a good night, everyone. Bye.